understand what was just said about, the schedule and what do you, so what do you do? Or you go ahead and have what's called, I don't know if you heard of this word, but PMI doesn't talk about it very much. The PMBOK doesn't refer to it very much, right? It's just put somewhere, right? But it's a very, very practical thing in real life project management. It's what's called, a nice little word, cushion, right? A cushion, right? It's a very important thing. Project manager, yeah, you put it on your chair and you sit down. That's a cushion. Yeah, a cushion is something that, you built your baseline, what he said. His baseline is, let's say, 1 week, but he has a buffer of 3 days in there, right? Should something go wrong, and in fact, being a project manager, I developed an actual project management tool, a project financial controlling tool, I developed it. And in that, and it's simple, in Excel, small little macro, small little programming. It took me about a week to do it, but it was really good from the aspect that I had a button on there, which said cushion. So my baseline was $100,000, for example. Now, based on the corporate culture, the organizational culture and environment, the cushion allowed me 10%, 15%, 25% sometimes, right? Sometimes only 5%. Whatever that framework was, I had my baseline. I knew it was going to be $100,000. But cushion, boom, everything went up by 20%. So that's what I gave to my stakeholders, right? You understand? Not to fool them. But if I over promise and under deliver, that's going to be bad. But if I under promise and over deliver, that's going to be fantastic. It's going to be blue-eyed boy, right? What do they call it, right? So these are things that you got to keep in mind in real life project management, right? This is something that we face every day. What our brother said there, it's something we all face. Every project manager faces that every day. And if they're critical projects, what happens in these critical projects is there's no room for shifting, right? It has to be done, do or die, it's going to be done. You just put in extra money and get the extra resource. For example, you ought to start painting the building at 9 o'clock in the morning. Your painters, because the paint came late and your painter started at 10 o'clock. So for the first 3 hours, you have 2 painters working simultaneously until you catch up, right? At least, right? That's, of course, it costs extra money. Now, really, I'm sure you've done this sometimes or that sometimes. Because, exactly. So, if the timeline is so critical that your customer is going to really kill you if you don't finish it by 4 o'clock in the evening, because you have your profit cushion as well, right? There you go.
Yeah.
So you chew into that cushion. If that cushion is not good enough, then you chew into your schedule cushion, right? Something of that sort. You understand? And this is real life, man. This is real life. Project management, PMBOK, PMI, really doesn't focus on this because, in a manner, it's, of course, they do say you've got to lead, when you go through cost management, they've got what's contingency funding, right? Contingency fund. You know what contingencies are? Yeah, some issues or problems that might come up. And shortcomings or some issues or problems, right? When these come up, they cost money to solve, right? So, yes, cost management officially has a certain budget or a certain amount allocated to such kind of an issue, right? Make sense? Anything else? Shall I move?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you say me one word meaning for cushion?
Okay, repeat that question, please.
Can you say me one word meaning for the word cushion?
Cushion.
Yeah. What does it mean? It's a commission, discount, or insurance? What it is? I'm
Just
confused.
what cushion means.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Okay,
have
sir,
said, right?
No, I know that. But related to PMI.
See, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's say, what are you going to have for dinner today? You and your family. What are you guys going to have for dinner today? What are you going to have?
Don't know. Anything rice or something, some kind of thing.
No, let's say you're going out for dinner to a restaurant. What are you going to have?
Biryani.
Biryani. Oh, my biryani. Ooh, that's my favorite. Okay, cool. So you're going to go to, which restaurant are you going to go to? Just give me some.
Grand.
Some Amis, Grand. Cool. So our sister's going to go with her family to Grand Hotel, and they're going to have double biryani. So you have a budget. Of course, I mean, for these things you generally don't, but let's say you do, right? If we're sensible, we've got to have budgets, right? We've got to use our money wisely. And not using it wisely is a very crazy thing to do. Because, you know, you could spend 10,000 rupees on biryani, you know that?
Yeah, we can spend, but we have a budget, so we
Okay,
can.
thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I mean. It's not sensible to do so, right? Even if I have 50,000 rupees lying around in my pocket, why would I spend it on biryani? Doesn't make sense. No. So you have a budget. You say, okay, let's go have some fun. Kids, come on, hubby, sweetheart, come on, let's go. We'll sit in the car and drive off to Randall, right? So you're going to say, okay, let's look at the menu. You look at the, if whoever, or both, mom and dad, or husband and wife, don't look at it. Oh, it's too expensive. Too expensive, right? $500. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Oh, I'm going to get this. We're going to get something else, right? So when you have a budget, you said we're going to spend, let's say, 1,000 rupees for this, using a number, a round figure, right? Now, if something were to be a little bit extra, 1,200, let's say, come on, let's manage. That 200 is a cushion. Get it? So you can stretch it that much, right, without hurting yourself. But if you stretch it to 2,000, one of you is going to snap the other. You okay? Not literally, but I hope not. Right? But you won't do it. Right? You understand? That's what a cushion is. You've got some range within which you can play, over or under. Make sense?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
It's generally over. Over money-wise or over schedule-wise. Right?
Maximum limit.
Whichever limit. Exactly. No, don't look at it as a maximum limit. Look at it as, okay, what else can I say? Sorry?
Finance accounting guys here, they can run this over.
No, let's say, if you're a salesperson, right? And I'm going to tell you that this bottle will hold liquid 0.5 liters, for example, right? And it so happens that the liquid is hot, so the bottle had no capacity for compression of gas and it exploded or leaked. That's not good, right? So I'm going to leave a cushion in there, right? If the liquid heats up and it expands, how much is it going to expand? So I have a cushion, right? But I told you that it holds 0.5 liter. In actuality, it holds, 0.6 liters, not 0.5, but 0.6. So that if anything were to go wrong, it still works, right? Not necessarily a maximum. Yeah, good.
Unexpected. Unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. Unexpected, or like you said, we know things are going to go out of line. We know there are going to be some problems. So how much of a problem is it okay to handle on an everyday basis? Right? Buffer, exactly. A buffer, yeah, another word for it is buffer. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You got it? Everybody understood? You sure? You sure? Yeah, good. Any questions? We're going to end? All right, I think the stomach is speaking louder than the brains now. And my voice is going down in volume, and the stomach is saying, hey. So let's go. We'll go fuel up, and we'll come back. All right? Now, any questions before we go? Quick ones. Because if you ask a long question, there are going to be lots of enemies here. And if you have a quick question. Yeah? No? All right. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll catch you soon after lunch.
45 minutes.
Sorry?
45 minutes.
45 minutes. The lunch is going to be for 45 minutes.
We will
And the
be
time
back
starts
at
now.
2 o'clock. Okay.